Welcome back to another Virgo Girl recommendation. My recommendation today is Harlem. Before we jump into this, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Now, this show, it takes place in Harlem, of course, hence the title. And with that being said, for me, anytime I see a movie or a show that takes place in New York City, it always gets my attention. There's something about New York. It just has this dope vibe, and I love to see how people live there. And it's just usually so cool. Just filming there is just the most amazing thing in the world because we get to see like the brownstones and just all the people and the colorful people and just everything about New York just seems so dope. And I love when they make movies and shows there. And for me, living in Los Angeles, it's like the opposite of where I live. So again, it's something that I'm looking at that's so different and intriguing, and I love it. With that being said, this show also brings to the table kind of it takes you back to, all the shows that have the women who are friends and they're living in the city. There's been several shows like that. But with this one, for me, what I like is that it's just so bright and colorful. I love how they played with the colors in this show. Everything is very, very vibrant. And I also like how the characters are very vibrant. That's the one thing that sticks out to me and that just really, really is impressive. I like that part of how they did that. Everything, like from the way they dress to like the colors in their homes. And it's just beautiful, 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 very eye-catchy. And also the characters. The way the character development is great so far. I like that they have each person in their own lane, meaning that there's no one who is similar to the other in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I mean, these are all different, totally different people, and you have to get to know each one separately to see how the puzzle fits together with them being friends. And it's a beautiful thing because you can look at it like, oh, this person is not being a very good friend, or this person is being walked all over, or this person is, whatever. But the whole thing is they're like a puzzle, like it just fits. And each person has their role to play, and they are playing that role properly, but it just takes time to figure out how they are playing their role properly, if you know what I mean. Like you just have to kind of see how them doing X is helping the other person in a way that you may not have seen it until you see that person's character, like until the character is, like it's more developed, until you can kind of see who that person is and what they've kind of been through and why they're bringing what they're bringing. It's kind of like sometimes people are bringing all that they can, even though looking at it on the outside, it may not look like enough, but that's all they have to give, kind of thing. So that's what I kind of see in this show. Whereas others have more to give because of their background or because of just who they are, kind of thing. And that's okay because that's their role that they play in this friendship. It also digs into relationships, and I love it because it's talking about dating. Of course, that's always exciting to watch people dating in New York City. And it also, I'm glad that they threw in women who with different dating scenarios. Like they have this one lady who always picks the wrong guy and who always is just too gullible. I mean, just to the extreme. And then you have one lady who's a lesbian. She's dating women. So you get to see that point of view and you get to see what she goes through and how, she reacts to the different women in her life. You get to see a woman who is still stuck on her ex. I mean, think about it. I mean, these are like different scenarios of women who or who you may be. So yeah, it's great how they like sprinkle that in there. And then they have one character who just sleeps around, with you know, different men. She's just kind of more free, like a free spirit. We have that type of personality in there as well. So it's just all very entertaining. I like all the girls. Like, I don't have a favorite. I don't think. I don't think I have a favorite yet on the show. I feel like I just like them all. I think they're all really cool. Let me just think. If I were to say, you know what, I'm not going to pick a favorite. I like them all so far right now. I think they all bring something to the table. And so far, it's not one of those shows where I'm like, this character, I just don't like this character. It's just not like that for me. I actually feel like they all have something to bring to the table, and it's funny. And then even there's one character, she's really like kind of gullible, and you're just like, oh my God, you can't be this silly. But even her, I just feel like she is so needed in this series because there are people like that in the world and they need to be represented. And, you know, of course, we all know people like that. And it's just kind of like, I'm so happy that they threw that in there. Another thing that I found really, really, really interesting is that the show, they kind of went there in the show. You know, I don't feel like they're tiptoeing around or trying to sugarcoat anything. I feel like they're really deep diving into some things where it's kind of like, wow, I'm happy to see they went there and they didn't kind of skate around this topic. So they're digging into some, you know, a little bit of political topics as well. So be prepared for that. Not in a bad way, but they're just kind of digging into some things, and it gets kind of interesting. It gets kind of interesting in that from that point of view as well. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. Just watch it. It's called Harlem. It's on Amazon Prime Video. If you have an Amazon membership, then you can watch it free on Amazon Prime Video.